If you're an artist who think the only way to sell your art and be successful is by selling your work online and online only, and I'm here to tell you, you're missing out big time. In this video, I'm going to show you 6 different places where you can show up and sell your art in person, generate revenue, create network, build connection, and be successful. This is what I've been doing for the past 9 years. This is my living room studio. 9 years ago, I transformed the entire living room into a small art studio and started creating work and bring it outside on the weekends and sell it, just weekends. And as a result, I have been able to collaborate with major brands like Pepsi, MasterCard, Uber, Facebook, and HBO. I've been in the magazines like Forbes, Bon Appetit, Food and Wine, and many more. I got a local TV, did a live broadcasted on me here in my studio, and I've painted a mural right downtown Manhattan in New York City, outside on live TV, all because I was outside in person and selling, and you never know who's watching. So in this video, I'm going to break down and I'm going to show you places that you can go and do the same thing and generate a buzz and revenue and be successful, because I've been doing it for 9 years. So number one, museums. Here in New York City, if you go downtown on weekends, we got the Metropolitan Museum, we got MoMA, and we got so many other museums. You will see local artists who show up to set up not directly in front of these museums, but sometimes it's maybe just across the street or on the side, right, to the left or to the right, right? And these artists will come out, they will set up. There's no better place for you to set up as a small creative beginner artist to sell your art than a place like a museum. Mind you, the museum put in so much work to get all these people, all these art lovers who got money in their pocket and they're ready to spend money on art. And they come in there, they go into the museums, check out all these art, all this major art. Now on their way out, and they see local, small, creative artists selling their art outside, guess what? They want to check that out too. So they come out and they check it out, and before you know it, they're spending money with local artists. So find a museum around your way, around your town, around your city that you know it gets very busy, especially on the weekends. As we know, people go out on the weekends and museums get packed during those weekends. Saturday, Sunday, those are the days that I go out to hustle. So if you kind of lost and trying to figure it out where to go sell your art and how to do it in front of a museum near you or in your city or in your town, you can show up, set up, and then just feed off the traffic that the museum brings, because it's a natural, it's an easy traffic that comes in anyway. And then you feed off that and you're gonna make some revenue doing that. So number one, that's the museum. Number two, theaters. Look around your city, your town, and find any theater that does a lot of shows, a lot of programs that have people coming in from say out of town or different area of the city, and then they come in these places, right, into the theater to go be a part of these programs, or to go watch a program, or to go see a show and stuff like that. That is a free traffic that you cannot get on your own. You show up and you set up, so you keep up with the programs, with the schedule and the calendar of that theater, and then you show up. Like I said, most of these major places don't allow for you to just show up directly in front of them, but you can be on the side, to the left or to the right, or across the streets, and then feed off the traffic that they bring in. That right there is an easy traffic, and that generate revenue. Remember that people love local creators. They love local artists, especially if your work is handmade. Like me personally, I hand paint everything. From especially in this time that we are in, with the AI this and the AI that, handmade is golden. If you can just create anything with your hand, or some kind of hand related made craft, art, or anything, as long as that person that's in front of you, that's talking to you, you can let them know that whatever it is that they're seeing, you personally are involved in creating that art or that piece, right? By hand or hand related some way, somehow. It just works. It works like magic, and they would just go for it, right? People just love to buy things from local creators, local artists who are making things by hand. So if you're an artist and you haven't been thinking about that, I'm here to encourage you to kind of think about that. Start adding some kind of a hand element or hand touch to whatever it is that you're doing. So if you go out to sell in person, it is an easy sell. It is an easy sell. Once you start to tell your story, and it comes across that you actually hand make this stuff, it just isn't easy. So being in front of theaters, by keeping up with their schedule, their programs, and their calendar, you show up on the day of when they have these things going. Easy, easy. You're gonna make some revenue. And I'm telling you, this is what local artists in New York are doing. This is how artists that don't even be online. These artists are not even online. They just doing it in the street, and they just local artists who just do this, they think on the street level, and they happy just making revenue. They know the schedules, they know the calendar, and then they just show up. Some people only just show up in front of theaters or around the theaters and just sell. Some people be there 7 days a week. Some people do it just on the weekends. And like I said, it's the same applies to the museum, which was the number one. And the number two now is the theater. So now, number three, gallery. If there's a gallery around your town, around your city, that's kind of like a buzzing, that has a lot of programs going on. The same thing, if they have a lot of programs going on. If not, you can go in there and talk to them and find out, what are some of the in the next 6 months or the next 3 months or for the entire year, what their calendar look like, right? And then make sure that you get your hands on those calendar, or get your hands on that schedule. And then whenever they have this program coming, the same way, you can show up. Like I said, most of these businesses won't allow you to just show up, post up right in front of them, because some of them also be having their own merchandise and stuff to sell. But here's the secret: most of their merchandises suck. It's really not. Most of the merchandises, it's not like yours. It's not like what you make with your hand and show up around the way. When people come out of those buildings and they see you with your handmade, they're gonna go for yours over their merch in the inside. So you have one up on these businesses. So like I said, number three is gallery. You show up the same way, as long as you got your hands on the calendar. If they got any program going, you show up, you set up, and then same way, you eat off the traffic that they bring, right? And they bring this traffic. These are people that coming into art programs. They're coming into art related programs that's already happening. So whether they're coming in or they're leaving, you are right there. And then they're going to check with you, and then you're going to grab a couple of sales. And the most important part of it that I got to let you know is that it's not really just about sales. This is my regret for 9 years. I've served thousands of customers. I've sold thousands of products. My number one regret is that I wasn't thinking, because otherwise all I had to do is whether these people buy or not. As long as they show interest and they look like they're potential customers, I could have just start collecting each and every one's email that talk to me, whether they bought or not. As long as they show interest and they look like they're potential prospect, I should have been collecting emails, and I haven't been doing that for 9 years. I just started doing that this year. This May, this past May is when I signed up with ConvertKit and started collecting emails in person. But I've been selling in person for 9 years. So this is a big regret, and you should not do that. So if you go out, whether you sell or not, the win is long term. If you are able to get a couple of people to give you their email addresses, people who are art lovers, people who love art programs, and they love local art and local creation, and they come in, if they are not in the market to buy, if they're not ready to buy at that time, and you're able to get them to give you their email addresses, it's the same thing as you got a bit as sales, like you got sales, because over time, as you keep storytell with your newsletter, when they need something to buy, something from a local artist, creative, the first person that comes in mind is going to be you, and they're going to purchase from you. And once they purchase from you, once they're going to come back and do it again. So that way you never lose a customer. This is what I've been doing now since May. And from now moving forward, that's the game for me. That's the system. Now that I have an email system that's working for me while I'm asleep, I talk to anyone who come by, and I make sure that I like them in with an email address. So this is something that as you going out, you're going in front of the museums, in front of theaters, and in front of galleries to sell in person. This is something that you can be doing. This is a big win. In the long term, it's a big win. Humans buy from humans. So in person, it's easy. It's just there's the connectivity, right? It's networking, it's emotion, and people don't mind just giving their email to you as long as you're talking to them. They can hear your voice. So keep that in mind. You're going out in person to sell, number one. Number two, also to collect emails. So you're killing two birds with one stone. Killing two birds with one stone. That's what makes this approach very interesting. If you haven't been doing this, you're missing out. This is my whole playbook. This is what kept me in business for 9 years. Pepsi found me in the streets, Facebook, Uber, HBO, MasterCard, all from me being in person, because you never know who is passing by. You never know who is buying from you. You never know that person that just purchased from you, who that person knows. Now, short story. Like I said, I'm an in-person guy. I also have my website online, everything as everybody else, but I'm an in-person, 200% focused on in-person, outside selling. So I was outside selling. I met an old lady. She came by. She loved art. She loved what I was doing. She had a conversation with me. Long story long, she did not buy anything, but she asked me, "Do you know this guy? He does TV shows. His name is Ben Aaron." Ben Aaron, yeah. And I said, "No, I've never heard of him. I don't know who that is." She was like, "Oh, he would love what you're doing. If he knows about what you're doing, he probably would have featured you on his show." I said, "Oh, I don't know who that is." She said, "Oh, it's a local TV station here in New York City, and he goes around to people's theaters, studios, and so on and so forth, and he will highlight them on his show." So she said, "You know what? Give me your information." And I wrote my information down and I gave it to this lady. You can believe it or not, that night I got a DM on my Instagram from Ben Aaron, from Ben Aaron, that he wanted to feature me in his program. I don't know how she got to him, whether she know him or she knows somebody who knows him, or she knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows him. Like I said, being outside in person, you never know who is passing by. You never know who you're talking to. After talking to this old lady, God bless her, this lady. And that same night, I got a DM from Ben, and he said he want to highlight me. Of course, he went to my Instagram and then check out my profile and check out what I was doing, of course, and he liked what he sees. So I replied and we went back and forth. A week later, him And his entire TV crew was right here in this living room, in this small living room studio. They came here, they shot the whole thing in this living room, and then they broadcasted it on their channel. And then they loved what I was doing so much, so much. The whole office, the top bosses, everybody they all loved it. A week later, they invited me into their office to do a live painting, to do a live mural painting, and they're gonna broadcast it live. Because after they broadcasted the recorded version, they got more people got more interest, and people were asking a lot of questions. So they said we're gonna do it again. So the following week, I was invited, and I went downtown Manhattan. The office was a little too much, so they said, you know what, this will be even better. Let's do it downstairs in front of the office building, downstairs in the street. So it was like a corner street, and we set up in the corner, and the TV the cameras was on live, broadcasting in New York City, in all the 5 boroughs, and I was in action, just painting this mural, just live, and people were stopping by. People had their phones out, TikToking, Instagram Live, all that stuff. So this can only happen to me. This can only happen to me when I'm in person. Nothing. I mean, I've been doing this for 9 years. With all the collaborations and all these brands that I've worked with, none of it came direct from online. None of it. None of it came direct from just somebody just finding me online just like that. It all comes from somebody saying, oh, somebody said they saw me and they want to, it all comes from that and word of mouth. Everything comes from that and word of mouth. So I'm super bullish on going out in person, even if you're someone who's not super comfortable doing it. And I was not. I am not the most super comfortable person in person. But now I love it because I seen the power and I seen the interest, and it also generate a lot of revenue for me. So I mean, why not? So this is something that you should also definitely keep in mind. Moving on, number 4, restaurants. If you know a restaurant around your way that attract a lot of like affluent people, or just attract a lot of traffic that comes into this place, especially like say on the weekends, weekend brunch, Saturday, Sunday brunch and stuff like that. That is also another great place to target in terms of feeding off the traffic that comes into these places. And mind you, everything we're talking about is all based on just tapping into a traffic, right? We're looking to tap into a traffic. The reason we are all of us artists on Instagram is because there's a lot of traffic there. And wherever there's traffic, there's going to be a lot of attention. So that's what we are all chasing. And whatever's happening online, it is also happening here, live, in person, in the street, on the ground. So it's the same thing. So if you know a restaurant around your town, your city, that gets very busy during the weekends and like doing their thing, you can find a way to show up not in front of the place, but to the side or across the street and feed off the traffic that comes in. People see you, they love your work, you have a story, you are handmade based or you are hand related make type art. That's all they need to hear. And wherever they came from, they would love to bring something that has a story attached to it. Oh, I went out to eat at this restaurant and I came across this artist. It was like right around, on the side of the restaurant or in front of the restaurant or across the street from that museum or that gallery. And it turned out this guy, actually, he's the artist and he makes it himself. And so I purchased him. This is like amazing. He has like a super crazy, beautiful story. And guess what? And he signed it. He autographed it for me. Number 1 secret. When people buy and you sign, they work for them. Oh my God. They're quick to give you the email address, and they're quick to reply to your emails whenever you send email. So, number 4, restaurant. The same approach. Same approach. Moving on. Number 5. Number 5, if you are not super comfortable, say, going to a museum or a theater or in front of a gallery or a restaurant, then your number 5, this should be easy. This is just a major street around your town or your city. A major street where people just float in that on that street like during the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, where everybody and their mama out just having fun, just walking around, shopping, eating, and doing all those fun stuff. You want to tap into that traffic in the major streets, major avenues, major boulevards around your town and your city. You walk around, do your little research, find out where will be the best place for you to post up. And then you post up and stay consistent and keep doing it every weekend, after weekend, after weekend. And people pay attention. People will realize, people will recognize that that guy is going to show up. As long as you keep showing up. I have people that know me for 9 years, have never bought. And all of a sudden, they're just buying. They're just like asking me, can you please, I need some, I've known them for 9 years. But you know what? It's not that they cannot buy things from any other places. It's just that I show up. I've been showing up for 9 years. I've been consistent for 9 years outside. I've been doing that for 9 years. And now it's like I know what they're buying. They're not buying just a piece of fabric, or they're not just buying something that they can just put on their body, they can just wear. They're buying a story. They're buying something they will, oh, who's that? Oh, yeah, that homie. Yeah. That's what they're buying. It's like, yeah, I got one too. Because now it's like everybody that they know is either know about my story or have something from me that I handmade. So now all of a sudden, guess what? Those people that's known me for years that haven't bought, now they're all buying. So it's just time. So they stay consistent, do it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And those are the same people that on the flip side, they're gonna come back and ask you, what else do you have? Now that's when the legacy comes in. What else do you have? That's when the canvases, the big pieces comes in play. Right? Oh yeah, I have major like big pieces, big canvases, and then that's when now they want more than just the piece of product, the piece of fabric that you sold them, because that's what you want to start with. You want to start with something that people can just low tickets, something that people can just have on a regular basis, and then they like it, and then they're gonna come back for more, and they come back for more, and then now they're gonna ask for even more. And that's why when people go out to the museums, they end up walking through the gift shop and spending money, buying books, buying coffee cups, buying t-shirts, buying all those stuff, because it's never enough. Once people walk into this museum, they go check out all these art pieces and everything. They still want more. They're gonna always want more. I do the same thing when I go out to the museums. On my way out, I will always go into that gift shop. Whether I buy something or not, I don't know, but I always walk into that gift shop and just go check out what is, because it's just fun to just look into those things. If not, then I'm gonna have to go sit in the coffee shop and sit there and then grab me a cappuccino and some butter croissant or whatever, and just sit there and just enjoy the moment and just watch people and then talk to people. So that's what we do as people, right? So when you show up, be consistent. Be consistent. You never know who's watching. You never know who's passing by. The person that just bought from you, you don't know who that person also knows. Now, these things only happen in person. It doesn't happen online. If somebody goes to your website and purchase something from you, they just purchase it, and then you can pack it up and then ship it. And that's the end of the story. There was no connectivity. There was no network there. But in person, it's not like that. In person, it's more than just a purchase. It's conversation. It's emotional connection. It's network. There's word of mouth. There's that referral that they're gonna go out and tell somebody else, and and say, oh, that guy, yeah. When I travel to Atlanta, New York, Cali, Chicago, or wherever you are, I bumped into this guy in the street. He's an artist and he's doing this and he's doing that, and this is what I got. That story goes a long way. That story goes a long way. So that is the benefit of in person. Short story, another short story. I got one guy from Florida, and I'm not flexing. He's a billionaire. I don't know how he got my number, but again, off from selling my stuff in the street and talking to people, this guy called me and he said he got somebody told him about my work, and then he went on Google and he checked it out, and then he saw, because if you Google my name, if you Google Danyaki Art Studio, you will see a whole bunch of all the celebrities and all these people that's wearing my stuff and all the work that I have done. You will see, you might see the Pepsi ad, you're going to see a whole bunch of other stuff. So he did that, and he saw all this stuff, all the social proof, and then he called me, and I remember exactly where I was at. I was on 125th Street in Harlem, walking, and my phone rang, and I picked it up, and it was this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, and he said he saw my work, and he would like to purchase some stuff from me. I'm gonna tell that story later in a whole other video with all the details. But long story short, this guy now it's on speed dial, like he's a billionaire, and all of just me being outside selling. Now I got somebody like that as a customer. We've never met in person, but I can test him and he would test me right back. It's amazing. So it's a blessing to just be outside selling, because you get to meet people. You never know who you're meeting. Like I said, from the TVs to Pepsi to MasterCard to all of that, just by being in person. So whatever you are in your town, give it a shot. Go out there and go play what I'm telling you. Like just go give it a shot. We're moving forward from major streets to number 6. And remember, number 1, let's start from the top. Number 1, I mentioned the museum. This doesn't have to be in this order. It can be either way, however you want it to be. But I'm just from how I wrote it down. Starting from the top, museums, theaters, galleries, restaurants, major streets, and this is my last one. I mean, I can keep going and going and going, but I'm gonna stop with this last one right here. This is where I'm gonna keep it at. This last one here is, say, in front of a major supermarket, like, for example, like Whole Foods. Here in New York, I mean, there's a bunch of Whole Foods everywhere in New York, but there's one particularly in Harlem. There's a Whole Food in Harlem. And this Whole Food, it's on 125th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard, which is 6th Avenue. Okay, so it's Martin Luther King Boulevard and Malcolm X Boulevard. It's a cross street like this, cross section. This Whole Foods, it is so busy, and down that way, there's a Trader Joe's. Both supermarkets, you will see just local people who, like you will see artists, you will see fruit sellers, you could see juice makers, you will see everybody pushed up on the side, on the corner. Why? Because these two giants bring in so much traffic. The amount of traffic that Whole Foods bring in and that on that block is it's incredible. So you have all these people who like sell foods, like my peoples, the Bengalis, the Bangladeshis. They will show up with their fruits, with the fruit trucks and stuff like that. And I will always go into Whole Foods, but on my way out, I will go to the Bengalis and grab like a pomegranate and grab some apples and stuff like that. So they're gonna always show up and they're gonna feed off that traffic that Whole Foods is bringing in. And it's not just them. You got people that have a food trucks that show up. You got people that have like a watermelon with the juicing, small juicing machines that they would juice it up, and you could buy the watermelon as is, or you can buy it as a juice. You got people just vending like from street to street, on this side and on that side, all around Whole Foods. And Whole Foods is also doing their numbers. But the street is just buzzing. People are out. And there's so much traffic coming in and out that everybody that posts up, that show up, getting their piece of the pie. It's the same way if you walk down that way where Trader Joe's is located. Which the same way, on the side and side of Trader Joe's, people are posted, they set up, and everybody is getting their piece of the pie. So the most important thing is knowing where the traffic is and showing up where the traffic is and to take advantage of those traffic. As a creative and as an artist, I cannot emphasize it over and over and over. You got to pay attention and you got to observe where the traffic is and show up there and sell in person. That's how you win, on top of whatever it is that you're doing online. Sooner or later, if you're able to build up from that and like say build a mailing list or customer list off of just being in person, because it's much easier for people to just give you the email addresses than giving it to you online. If you ask me, the difference, what I see is that if somebody give you the email addresses or they give you the email address in person, it is very hard for that person to unsubscribe from you, because there was like a human connection while they were giving you that email address. And they remember the moment, they remember you, they remember what they got from you, whether they bought something or not, they just remember. So it just makes it easier for you guys to stay connected than somebody who just sign up to your mailing list just by, say, with your pop-up, right? Just popped in front of them on your website and they just couldn't get away and they just have to just type in the email address. And it seems like they were forced to just put in the email address, otherwise they can't get past that. So they would do that. But then before you know it, 2 or 3 emails down the line, they unsubscribing. These people, this is what I've realized, people that I collected their email in person after having conversations and they show a lot of interest and so on and so forth, they never, like they stay connected, they stay in that bubble. They don't unsubscribe. They always stay in with me. Some of them will even put in 2 different emails. They will put in their email address and say, oh, I'm gonna put my husband, I'm gonna put, somebody that I know, because I know they're gonna like this. And when I send out emails and say, if you know someone who also love art or someone who's creative, somebody who's PS, please forward this to them. And they do that, and that also automatically brings in more people like themselves, right? So it's like they bring the lookalike of them. And so that's why I'm super bullish in like going out, being in those places where you can take advantage of the natural traffic, the natural human traffic that shows up, and you show up with them. And in these days where everybody on their phone and the AI this and the people just social media, nobody looking up, everybody just looking down on their phone. People love to just see something beautiful, something that's colorful, something that's creative, and they will stop by and they will come and talk to you. And after having a 30 seconds, 1 minute conversation with you, they are ready to give you the email address. They are ready to just go in their pocket, get their money out and to support you, because they love to see people like being creative, people making beautiful things, especially if you were making these things by hand. Now, shameless plug. I'm gonna, just so you know, I'm an artist through and through. I've been doing this for 9 years. Here in my living room, I paint on anything I can get my hands on, and I got my own thing that I'm doing. It's a hand-painted aprons. I have the link below. This is my ask. If you're getting any value, If you love what I'm doing, if you enjoy what I'm telling you, and I hope you're going to give it a shot. If you want to support me in any way, hit the link below and grab a one-on-one limited hand-painted apron that I create here from my living room. Moving on. So I just gave you 5 different spots and places where you can show up and you can sell, and how to show up and how to sell, and not just showing up and selling, but also collecting email addresses on top of that. So we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. That's what going out is. Going outside is we're going out, build relationship, emotional connections that makes these people remember, and they never forget who we are, right? And on top of that, we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We sell and we collect email addresses. If we don't sell, we still collect email addresses, provided that we can smell that that person loved what we're doing. That person loved handmade. He loved art. He loved creativity. That is a prospect. That is a potential future customer. So let's get that person's information and lock it in. And then once a week, we send out newsletter, story-based, story-driven. Talk about what's going on in your studio. Like what did this happen? You had a spill in the studio? Turn it into a story, into a beautiful story, and send it as a newsletter. If there was a spill, take a picture of that spill, right? Take a picture of that spill, and that's gonna be your pick. The picture that you're gonna post up, and then beneath that, here goes the story. People who gave you the email addresses in person, they're gonna love that. That's what they love. That's me personally, that's what I do. Every weekend I'm outside selling, collecting email addresses, and then on Tuesdays, I will send out my newsletter and talk about what happened. What happened that weekend outside in the street, or what happened here in my living room studio, or what happened when I went down the block to buy my my art supplies, right? Like for example, like the lady that connected me with Ben on the PX11 live TV, like that story, that is a newsletter, right? So it's like when that happened, I have to talk about it. Like, oh my God, I met this lady, da, 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 da. Especially even if I didn't talk about it and that connection happened, Ben DM me. Like, I mean, I only got a little over 4,000 followers on Instagram for 9 years, like just struggling, just trying to build his following. And he got like his followers like way up there. For him to reach out to me down here, that he want to come to this living room and do a show. That's amazing. So that's a newsletter. So stories like that only happen when you're outside. So when you go outside, you're gonna encounter a lot of these, and these things becomes your story, and you send them to the newsletter, and your people will read them and they be happy, and that would entice them to go out there and support you more, to purchase from you. Otherwise, I think if we decide to just stick with just online, you have your social media, you have your website, and just decide that you're waiting for the action to happen, for the sales to happen. Hey, just want to take a short break to invite you to check out my beautiful artwork. Especially if you love giving a gift that's made with love to a family member, a friend, a loved one, or even to yourself. I just want you to know that I've hand-painted over 10,000 of these beautiful one-of-one limited hand-painted aprons from right here in my living room studio. These beautiful aprons are not just for cooking, painting, or creating. These amazing aprons are also a form of therapy, a transformational tool for survival, and a constant reminder to you that you are also a creator. This is a masterpiece of apron that you can actually live in. So this is not just a purchase, it is an investment in your own creativity. So I encourage you to hit the link below and grab your one-of-one limited hand-painted apron. Also, while on my website, I want to invite you to check out my canvas masterpieces. And let's get back to the show. Thank you. Peace. Traffic. Target the foot traffic. Target where people congregate. Target busy streets. Target busy locations, busy landmarks, and be there and feed off those traffic. You will stay in business for a very long time. I wish you nothing but success. I wish you nothing but good. Once again, check out the links below and click on them. And if you want to support your boy, thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Salute you.